Raise and appropriate, which is monies that we have available to us from the additional state aid and due to the FEMA reimbursements. Remember from the May floods, the town was entitled and received some money from FEMA. And the remaining portion would be from free cash. So that there is sufficient money between those funding sources to fund all the budget transfers that we're going forward with.
I don't see a transfer from FEMA. Is that because it's basically going into free cash, or?
No,
Mr. Jones may have an answer here.
certainly.
If I'm not mistaken, Greg, the FEMA money came in after the close of the books, et cetera.
Yeah.
But because it's federal money, the state will allow us to fold that into the free cash and count it as that.
So that's why it's.
So it's- Nomenclature is really free cash.
Okay.
Right.
No,
Unless Greg has a different.
Brad, my recollection is that it's either handled that way and we can spend it because we have a commitment from the federal
well,
government.
I wasn't
that the monies
questioning the
are
spending. If you look at where the money's coming from each of these line items,
Which bucket?
FEMA isn't mentioned.
Yeah, which bucket does the
Yeah,
FEMA money
that's
fall
all.
into?
So if the FEMA money went into free cash, then we're covered.
Right.
If it's sitting there and we have to take it out of a FEMA fund, then we've got to apply it to something here. Sounds like that's covered. So I would ask for a motion to
Move to recommend Article 6?
Article
No, this is 6.
6. Now,
Second.
motion made by Mr. O'Leary, seconded by Mr. Bino. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I think that covers it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Not yet?
I know we're not going.
Which means now you have a little work to do to get a warrant that we need to sign.
Yeah,
And
actually,
we have to call the,
Yeah. Constable.
while Dave was making his presentation, I was going in and making the changes to the warrant, so he's going to print a new version of it, and we'll give the constable a call, he'll be right in, you can sign it, and, yeah.
Okay.
Any motion explanation? Frank, of that
Okay.
approved article?
You would tell you, I'll print it up and you can take a look at it.
You want to wait until we see that, Steve?
Yeah,
He's gonna bring it in.
Well, while we're doing that, this little note was handed to me by Pat Romeo. It's just an announcement. David Osgood, who's a member of the Historical Commission, died last night. The funeral will be from Croswell's Funeral Home on Thursday. She didn't have a time, and Croswell's Thursday at the Congregational Church, visiting Wednesday afternoon and evening. So that's at Croswell's. You check the paper to get the times, but that's David Osgood, who served as a member of the Historic Commission. We offer condolences to David's family. Any comments from anybody? Okay.
Mr. Jones is a comment.
Mr. Jones, sorry.
Could I ask, read Article 11?
Article 11, the funding of the actual study or Department of Elder Affairs revolving account. I'm not trying to be funny, but
Funding for actual order of study. Your new Article 11, our old 12.
okay.
You made a recommendation on
I'm
that?
sorry, we didn't vote on that. You're right.
Because there's been no figure that we've heard on FinCom.
Keep you in the dark on that, Brent.
There was the potential, maybe, of postponing this paper, but I don't know what.
Well, I think we're going to be making a recommendation at town meeting because you're right. I haven't heard on that.
And lastly,
There's no number there.
One more?
Your number there?
That's done now.
It's Article 11.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you get paid, good job.
No. Right. Article 11, which was Article 12 on our blue sheets.
Yes.
Funding for the actual study. Do we
Yes.
have a number for that?
$15,000. And it's, I don't know if you happen to see today's Boston Globe, there was an article about something called post-employment benefits for retirees. And under the regulations that GASB, the Government Accounting Standards Board, put together, they want cities, all cities and towns nationwide to calculate out what their post-employment retirement costs are, and that's primarily health insurance, but in the case of municipalities, pensions and health insurance. And so what we need to do is bring in someone with some expertise in that area that can look at our pool of retirees, estimate the number of retirees that we have going forward, and tell us what our unfunded liability is for that. The reason why we want to do it is we certainly don't want to ignore it because our financial statements will, in the near future, require us to list out what that liability is. We'll have to list it as we will not have to fund it,
But it'll be on the balance.
but we'll have to show it as an item on our balance.
Mr. Jones.
could I have that number again?
15,000.
15,000,
15 followed by 30.
yes, sir.
And where is this coming from?
This would come from,
Overlay reserve?
no, it would not. It would come from that, all of the numbers that we had going forward to this point, and all of the recommendations did not consider the FEMA reimbursement. So this would come from that
Free
pool.
cash.
That would come from that pool that's the FEMA reimbursement.
But so it'll be free cash.
Yes, sir.
Free cash, what's that?
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, and this is something that we can't put off.
If we put it off, we perhaps only want to put it off until April.
You could.
But
You can't put it off,
You could put
period,
it off.
but you can wait till later.
Yeah, you could delay until April.
Okay, what are the wishes of the
While
board?
we have the free cash, the preference was to do it now.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Gardino,
Yes.
seconded by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Aye.
Recommend.
Excellent. Let me,
Mr. Jones, have I missed another
No,
one?
just one last one, Article
If you're on the blue sheet, give me the number.
14. No, your new 14, or the old 15.
The old 15, okay.
Modular classroom?
Modular classrooms, it's $1 million.
No.
Oh,
That
nine,
was- that was
yeah,
mentioned.
okay.
Yeah, I just want to know if you got the new.
That's what they originally had. And that's
913,
real people's money.
913,183?
Yep.
Do we recommend that?
Let me just
No,
put
I
it
don't
up.
think-
Says
That's
recommended.
the old record you had.
Wait a minute.
With-
Well,
under
I'll
the
tell
old
you,
one.
You recommended the middle school?
I have to go look at my notes from last week. I think, what?
Although I'm not sure that you.
No, we didn't have a number yet.
I don't think we voted on
No,
that.
I don't think so.
recommended.
That's why I'm bringing it
Because I
up.
wouldn't,
That's why
I
you
don't think I would recommend it.
No, you're right.
We recommended $15,000.
Study. 13,000.
Now, what's that?
No, we took no action on it.
We recommended
I didn't think you did,
Yeah, five,
Yeah, we didn't take any action on it.
$5,000 to study park.
Says
For a
35,000.
building, they were gonna build in 2012,
So we gotta fix that one.
what a bunch.
Welcome back. How was the TV today? How's it pulling the cane, John?
Yeah.
I'll take my comments when the camera goes off.
The warrant doesn't have the warrant that has to be signed doesn't have our recommendations on it. But we haven't taken action on this.
Middle school, you wanna, I mean, they're gonna go for override.
I'm in support of recommending a town meeting after they make their report.
Yeah, let's hold our recommendation till town meeting.
You in support of that?
Holding it, yeah.
I mean, making a recommendation at town meeting.
At town
so,
meeting.
yeah.
Give it a shot. You never know.
Never know.
Maybe it's a stupid question. How come we can't move portable classrooms from one school to another one? We can use the ones that are at the
Well,
bachelor.
first of all, they're not, well, the ones at the Batchelder School, we talked about moving to use as, in the back. This is,
Yeah.
yeah, they were
So
in
they're
bad
not really
shape.
portable, are they?
They're not portable. In fact, they're more permanent, the ones they're using now, are more permanent than anything else. You know, they're gonna be there for a long time.
now, but you never wheel them out.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
But the ones at the batch were not that great, and the roofs were in bad shape, and we talked about using them as a temporary extra space during the police station construction, when they were gonna keep the police in the building, if you believe that they even proposed that.
Yeah.
And it was gonna cost us more than renting a couple of trailers.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm talking about, not the trailers, thing that they built there, but in terms of what they were thinking of back then. Steve, on the middle school modular classroom, said recommended, we never even took that up. So we're gonna make a recommendation at town meeting unless you object, in which case we'll have a discussion.
You're welcome.
All right, you get that? All right. John, we're printing the warrant, we've made a number of changes to it. And I know you watched us intently on
No, he
your
didn't.
Verizon channel.
Can't, that's still
I
on,
can't
John.
even go over to my neighbors because everybody on our block switched over to it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm ready to go down the street to get petitions signed to have it taken out.
Well, you know, if everybody on the street called and told them they were gonna cancel, you might,
The thing is, they give you such a runaround, you wind up hanging up the phone. That's the problem. But I have a name now and a number,
Absolutely.
and I told her, she thinks that you guys were tough on her weight.
well, I tell you, I was saying earlier, if it was Mary, the person before, we would've killed her. You know, we gave this woman a little bit of a break.
I have a question.
Well, the thing is that one of the reasons we couldn't reach anybody, because they just hired her 2 months ago.
That's besides,
That's
the
one of
point.
the
She's
reasons.
not the only person
No,
in
of
the
course
place.
not.
She's not the one you
Yeah,
negotiated
no,
the
and
contract with. Give me a break, I mean, you know, I didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday.
I got a question. Are they charging you
I was
for
a
the general
purchasing agent for
conduct?
25 years and negotiated a lot of deals like
Oh,
this.
yeah, you're getting over it.
Yeah, no break.
Well,
That's-
I mean, they could protest. So, do we have a
All
warrant?
set?
Mr.
Can we
Chairman,
take, before we
Oh, I'm sorry.
sign it, can we take a quick look through it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there's no recommendations on that, right?
This is the posting
The posting,
version, and the posting version, those recommendations that you had voted previously
Yeah,
are here.
but you're not,
But the one that's gonna be mailed out?
The one that's gonna be mailed out will have complete recommendations in it, but what we try to do is we try
well,
to,
Lynn told me that usually you don't even put the recommendations on the posting. Now, you know, is that right?
I don't recall. I don't even look at it that closely.
Well, there is a recommendation for the modular classrooms that we never discussed. If that's on there, I want it removed.
yeah, it does say that, yes. You want that out?
Yeah, because we're gonna make a recommendation at town meeting.
Okay, I'll get that changed.
And we did not